In the first few minutes of this video, we'll review some basic Windows concepts and techniques. Then, in Section 2, we'll point out some of the differences between Windows 95 and the previous version, Windows 3.1. Section 3 is for everyone. That's where we really dig into Windows 95 and show you how to get the most out of Microsoft's new operating system. Section 1. Tips for first-time Windows users. In this section, we'll review using the mouse, what windows and icons are, using the keyboard, using menus. Using the mouse. As you probably know, this is a mouse. The mouse controls this pointer on the screen. When you move the mouse to the left, the pointer moves left. And when you move it to the right, the pointer moves back to the right. It's the same when you move it up or down or around. You use the mouse by tapping on one of its buttons. This is called clicking. Clicking twice quickly is called double-clicking. Holding the left button down and moving the mouse is called clicking and dragging, or just dragging. As you get more experience with the mouse, you'll probably want to leave your finger resting on the button. Then it only takes a very slight motion to click the mouse. Notice that the mouse pointer only moves when the mouse is resting on a flat surface. It's a good idea to use a mouse pad with a mouse. The mouse pad helps provide better traction as you move the mouse around. Sometimes, though, you'll find that the mouse has reached the edge of the pad. If that happens, all you have to do is pick up the mouse and move it back to the center of the pad. What are windows and icons? A window is just a box that opens on the screen, so you can view some information or perform a task. In the window, you can see a number of different little pictures or icons. These pictures represent programs, documents, or folders. Double-clicking on a document or program icon opens or starts that document or program. Double-clicking on a folder icon opens another window where other programs, documents, or folders may be stored. You can make a window smaller or larger, and you can move it around. If you have more than one window open on the screen, only one window at a time can be active or in front. If a window is partly hidden, clicking in the window like this will bring it forward. Using the keyboard. If you're familiar with a typewriter, the keys you see here work just like typewriter keys. In Windows programs, you'll mostly use the keyboard for typing text, like in a letter or report. The computer keyboard also has a row of keys at the top called the function keys. These keys are very important in some computer programs, but they're not commonly used in Windows. Using menus. Menus let you choose items or perform tasks in Windows without having to know any special computer language. Clicking once with the left mouse button on a menu title opens the menu. Menus contain commands, which tell the computer to perform certain tasks. Menus can also contain other menus, like these. You don't need to click to open these other menus. Just placing the mouse pointer on the menu title opens them automatically. When you find the command you're looking for, you perform it by clicking on it once with the left mouse button. This menu is called the Start menu, for obvious reasons, and it's the one you'll probably use the most. Menus can also be found in most windows, such as this Control Panel window and this window for Microsoft Word. Section 2. What's different? Probably the first question you asked yourself when you heard about the Windows 95 update was, how much will I have to relearn? In this quick overview, we'll explain what the major differences are and give you tips on what to look for. No more DOS. If you're accustomed to seeing the DOS prompt on screen when you turn on your computer, Windows 95 will really be a big change, because unlike previous versions of Windows, Windows 95 does not use DOS as its operating system. Windows 95 is the operating system. But you can still run all your favorite DOS programs, even better than before. We'll cover that in Section 3. No more Program Manager. This fairly empty desktop screen is all you'll see after you start Windows 95. You get access to your programs using the Start menu. If you upgraded your computer from 3.1 to 95, all of your old program groups will now appear as submenus on the Start menu. The Maximize, Minimize, Restore, and Close buttons. The Maximize, Minimize, and Restore buttons look different in Windows 95, but they still have the same function. And they're joined by this newcomer, the Close button. Just click on this button once to close your document or window. For program windows, this will exit the program. Clicking or double-clicking in the upper left corner of the window works exactly the way it did in 3.1, even though there's an icon there now instead of the old control box. Since the title bar, menus, and other elements of Windows are controlled by the operating system, when Windows 95 is installed on your system, even your old documents and programs will have these new features. Microsoft has tried to reduce the amount of mouse clicking necessary when using your computer. One place you'll notice this right away is the menus. Once you open the Start menu, for instance, no other clicking is required until you find the program you're looking for. Submenus open automatically as you place the mouse pointer on them. Here's a quick tip. Breaking old habits. You may be in the habit of automatically clicking on the far right button to maximize or restore your window. But now, clicking there will close the window, or exit the program in the case of a program window. Then you'll have to reopen it, and that's frustrating and time-consuming. But having to relearn some things is the price you pay for progress. Another thing is the way menus work. A feature that's designed to reduce mouse clicks will actually make you click more until you manage to break an old habit. When you're hunting for a command in a menu in 3.1, you click to open a menu, then click to open the next one, and so on. In Windows 95, once you open a menu, you don't need to click to open the neighboring menus. They open automatically as you slide your mouse back and forth. But until you get used to it, you'll click on the neighboring menu out of habit, and that will close it. It's something you'll just have to get used to. No more 8-character names. Windows 95 doesn't limit you to using 8 characters plus a 3-character extension for file names. In fact, it's possible to use up to 256 characters, including spaces. Only programs that are fully optimized for Windows 95 will be able to use these long names, but it won't be long until they all are. We'll explain more about that later. The Explorer feature takes the place of the old File Manager, but in most cases you won't even need to use Explorer because now there are easier ways of finding and manipulating files, such as the Find feature and the Start menu. Naturally, we'll tell you how to use both of these in a few minutes. Shutting down your computer. Shutting down Windows is easy with the Windows 95 system. Just click the Start button, then click Shut Down. Click Yes here. With Windows 95, when your computer is ready to be turned off, it will tell you. Section 3. Windows 95, a closer look. In this section, we're going to teach you how to start your computer with Windows 95, how to open a program and open documents, how Windows look and act in Windows 95, how to use menus in Windows 95, how to use the accessories programs, including Calculator, WordPad, and Paint, how to run a DOS program, how to use the Recycle bin, how to use the Find feature, how to use My Computer, including printers, control panel, and disk drives, how to use the Help feature, and how to shut down Windows 95. Now let's get started. How to start your computer in Windows 95. Turn your computer on. Wait a minute or so, and eventually you'll see this screen. This Welcome to Windows box may or may not appear. If it does, Go ahead and read the tip if you want to. Then click on Close, and the box will disappear. All you need to do then to run a program is click once on the Start button. The Start menu appears, giving you several options: Shut down, Run, Help, Find, Settings, Documents, and Programs. How to open a program in Windows 95. After you've opened the Start menu, move the pointer to Programs. The options available here are either individual programs such as Windows Explorer and the MS-DOS prompt, which you can start by simply clicking on them, or sub-menus containing groups of programs like Accessories, Best of Entertainment, MS Works for Windows, and Startup. Once you've located the program you want to open, click on it once with the mouse. That's all there is to it. Remember that Windows can run more than one program at a time. After you've opened one program, you can go back to the Start menu and open another one. The number of programs you can run is limited only by the amount of memory your computer has. A quick tip about submenus. When this new menu opens, it might look like the items line up with the arrows in the previous menu, but that's not how it works. Instead, the new menu contains a list of things that pertain only to the highlighted item on the previous menu. For example, notice as we move the mouse pointer downward, highlighting a new menu title from this menu, that the menu on the right changes completely, opening a different sub-menu that refers to the newly highlighted menu title. Opening documents in Windows 95. Click Start, then move the mouse pointer to Documents. When you do that, the Documents menu will open, showing the names of the last 15 documents you've worked on. All you do to open a document from this point is click once on its title. When you do that, the program that created the document automatically opens, and the document opens within it. If you can't locate a document or program, just highlight Find here in the Start menu and click on Files or Folders. The Find dialog box opens on the screen. Then type in the name of the document. As a shortcut, just type a part of the name, for example, WIN. Then click on Find Now and the search begins. You'll soon see a list of every file containing that particular combination of letters. As you see here, there are several documents containing the letters WIN in that order. You may have noticed also that up here in the title bar it says Find Files named WIN, which is a reminder of what you typed in. To see the entire list of names, just click on the down arrow in this tiny scroll bar until you find the one you're looking for. It will help if you click on the Name button first to make sure the names are in alphabetical order. Then to open the file you want, just double-click on its name. Here's another way to open documents or programs in Windows 95. If you've used a Macintosh computer, this way will be very familiar. In fact, if you've used a Macintosh, you'll find lots of familiar things in Windows 95. You begin by double-clicking on the icon that says My Computer. A window opens displaying all the disk drives, the control panel, and the printers folder. To get to a program or document on the hard disk, you just double-click here. Your hard disk may be called something else. When the hard disk window opens, you can see icons representing all of the directories or folders on that disk. Then, for example, you double-click on MS Works, and that in turn opens this window, showing you the contents of the MS Works folder. Then to open a file, just double-click on it. For example, let's double-click on this file, which is a Microsoft Works document. You briefly see the Microsoft Works logo, and then the document opens on screen. So, to review using My Computer, first double-click on the My Computer icon. Then double-click on the disk drive. Double-click on the directory folder. Then double-click on the file or program. Disk drives. When you open My Computer, you'll see the title and icons of all available disk drives. In this case, you'll remember our hard drive is called hard disk. The floppy disk drives are also shown here. This is the starting point for many tasks that you can perform, including copying from one drive to another and moving files to a new location. We'll show you how to do those things now. Put the floppy disk into the drive. After you've opened My Computer, double-click on the floppy drive icon to open its window. Then, double-click on the hard disk icon to open its window. We want to copy this file from the floppy disk to the Windows folder on the hard disk. Just click and drag the file's icon to the Windows folder icon. When the folder is highlighted, release the mouse button. Now the file is being copied to the hard disk. Notice that the file has not been removed from the floppy disk. Dragging a file from one disk to another always copies the file. To move files from one folder to another, when both folders are located on the same disk drive. First, find the icon for that file. Let's move this file from the Windows folder to this folder. Click on the icon and drag it to the other folder. When the folder is highlighted, release the mouse button. This actually moves the file into the folder. Notice that it's no longer here in its original folder, but if we open the new folder and scroll down through the files, we'll find it. First, insert the floppy disk into the disk drive. Use Find or My Computer to locate the file you want to copy. Click once to highlight the file. Then click on File. Place the mouse pointer on Send To, then click on the name of the drive where your floppy disk is. The file is copied to the floppy disk. To review, once the floppy and hard disk windows are open, just click and drag on the file you want to copy it from the floppy disk to the hard disk. To move files from one folder to another, click and drag the file. To copy a file to a floppy disk, click on it once, then click on the File menu. Choose Send To, and click on the name of the drive. How windows look and act in Windows 95. Windows have a title bar at the top that shows the name of the window or the name of the program that's running in the window. If you click and drag on the title bar, you can move the window to a new location. The title bar also includes the Minimize, Maximize, and Close buttons. This button with the X on it, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, is the Close button. Just click on this button once to close the active window. If the active window is a program, the program will close down or stop running. The computer will give you the chance to save any documents that you haven't saved. Here at the left of the Close button is a button with a picture of a tiny window on it. This is the Maximize button. Let's click on it to maximize this window or make it fill the entire screen. Now that the window is maximized, notice that the button we just clicked has a different picture on it. It's a picture of one window in front of another. This is the Restore button, and if you click on it, the window will be restored to the way it was before you maximized it. Then to the left of the Restore button is the Minimize button, with a black bar across the bottom, representing the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. Clicking on this button will collapse the window without actually shutting down the program it represents. Clicking the Minimize button doesn't close the window or program. It just gets the window out of your way until you need it again. You'll know that it's still present because it's still visible here on the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. To bring it back, you click once on the taskbar button. Windows have a border around the outside that you can use to change the size of the window. Just place the mouse arrow on the border, and when it turns into a double arrow like this, then click and drag to resize the window. This works on all sides of the window. Most windows will also include the 4 menus that you see here: File, Edit, View, and Help. Program windows usually have other menus as well. The View menu controls the appearance of the window. Large icons looks like this. Small icons looks like this. List shows the names of the files like this. And Details shows not only the names of the files, but also what type they are, how big they are, and so on. The File menu includes commands for renaming and deleting files or folders, and a few other commands. For instance, to rename a file, click on the icon. It becomes highlighted like this. Then choose Rename from the File menu. Notice how the name under the icon has been highlighted. Pressing Delete or Backspace will erase this, and then you can type a new name. But a faster way is to just begin typing. Whenever text is highlighted like this, you can replace it immediately by typing anything. Delete works in a similar way. Highlight the file you want to delete by clicking on it. Choose Delete from the File menu, and choose Yes to send it to the recycle bin. Right-clicking. If you click on a file or folder with the right mouse button, you can then open, copy, delete, or rename it, among other things. To delete a file, click on Delete. It's just like choosing Delete from the File menu. Switching between programs using the taskbar. The taskbar feature is new in Windows 95. The taskbar is nearly always visible while Windows 95 is running. Any window that you've opened or any program that is currently running will be represented on the taskbar by its own button, like this. Each button will have the title of the item, so you can find it later. These buttons are called command buttons. As you run more programs or open more windows, the command buttons will become smaller and smaller in order to fit. If they become too small to see the entire name of the program, just place the mouse pointer on the command button for a second or two without clicking, and you'll see this little tooltip message showing you the complete name. If you're familiar with Microsoft Word or Excel, you'll recognize these little tooltips. To bring up any program or window from the taskbar and place it back on screen, just click once on its command button. This is a quick and easy way of switching between programs, even when their windows are maximized. You can go back and forth very quickly by clicking the button for the one you want. It's just like changing TV channels with a remote control. Quick tip. The old method of holding down the Alt key and pressing Tab to switch between programs still works in Windows 95. When you hold down Alt and hit the Tab key, you see the icons of all running programs here in the center of the screen. One of the icons has a box drawn around it, and its name is written here in the space below. While still holding down Alt, press Tab again. The box moves to the next icon, and its name appears. When you see the name of the program or window you want, just release the Alt button, and that program or window appears. Using accessories. Windows 95 has many accessories, which are handy and convenient mini programs that perform some very useful tasks. Click Start, highlight Programs, then highlight Accessories. In this intermediate video, we'll look at the Calculator, Paint, and WordPad. The calculator does everything a real calculator does. It adds, subtracts, multiplies, divides, figures, percentages, and so on. This is the scientific calculator. Click here to change to a standard calculator. Just click on Standard. To use the calculator, you can use the number pad on the keyboard to the right of the regular typing keys. Or you can also click on the numbers and functions with the mouse. The slash represents divide. The asterisk means multiply. Of course, these are minus and plus. You may want to leave the calculator running while other programs are running, so you can use it quickly. Just click the calculator button on the taskbar to bring the calculator back to the screen. Quick tip: you can use copy and paste with the calculator. To put the results of a calculation into a document, just choose Copy from the Edit menu here. Then switch to your program and choose Paste, either by clicking on the Paste button or choosing Paste from the Edit menu. Writing letters and reports and so on with a computer is called word processing. A word processor is a computer program that lets you type letters and reports in the same way you would on a typewriter, with one very important difference. You can make changes or correct mistakes without retyping everything. You work with your document on the screen until you get it just right. Then you print it. If you've used Microsoft Word or the Microsoft Works word processor, you won't notice many changes in WordPad. It's basically a miniature version of Microsoft Word, and although Microsoft doesn't consider it to be a full-fledged word processor, it will do just about everything necessary to create everyday letters, reports, and other documents. To start WordPad, first click the Start button, highlight Programs, then Accessories. Finally, click on WordPad here at the bottom. The blinking vertical line here is called the cursor. It's also known as the insertion point. Once you begin typing, the cursor moves right along with you and keeps pace with you as you enter the text. As you type, you'll notice you don't need to hit the return key as you would on a typewriter. When you reach the margin, just keep typing the sentence, and the text automatically wraps around to the next line. To start a new paragraph, simply hit the Enter key and continue typing. This puts a break in the text, and the words in the new paragraph will continue to wrap around automatically until you press the Enter key again to start another paragraph. When you're working in a word processor like WordPad, it's like looking through a small window at your document. As you reach the bottom of the screen when you're typing, the document automatically moves up, or you can think of it as the window moving down. To see things that are above or below the window, you use the scroll bar here on the right. The scroll bar has an up arrow and a down arrow, and a small gray box in the middle. To move up toward the top of your document, you click on the up arrow. Click and hold to scroll quickly. The down arrow works the same way, only in the other direction. You can also click and drag the little gray box and release it to move to another location. This is handy for moving quickly to the beginning or end of your document. To make changes in the text, move the cursor to the point where the changes need to be made. The quickest way to do this is with the mouse. When you move the mouse pointer into the text, it changes to this I-beam mouse pointer. This allows you to carefully place the cursor wherever you want it, even between two letters in a word. Let's click the mouse pointer here. Now that we've moved the cursor, all we need to do is just start typing. The new letters appear where the cursor is located, and the other words move to the right to make room. You can erase text easily by pressing on the backspace key. This key erases text to the left of the cursor. You can also use the delete key. This erases text to the right of the cursor. A quick way to remove or change an entire word is to double-click anywhere in the word. This highlights the word, plus the space after it. Once a word is highlighted like this, you can delete it quickly with the backspace or delete key, Or you can just begin typing to replace the word. If you make a mistake, you can always undo the last thing you did by choosing Undo from the Edit menu, or by clicking the Undo button. If you accidentally delete a word, for instance, the Undo command will bring it back with one click. To review the basic word processing steps in WordPad, the cursor marks the point where the text is entered when you type. You don't have to press Enter unless you need to start a new paragraph. Click on the scroll bar to travel up or down in your document. To make changes, just click once where you want the cursor to be so you can begin typing in that spot. You can erase text by pressing on the backspace and delete keys. Highlight a word by double-clicking on the word. Just start typing to replace it. Remember, the Undo command lets you undo the last step you performed. Another quick way to make changes in your document is by using Cut, Copy, and Paste. You can find these commands in the Edit menu, or here in the toolbar. This is Cut, this is Copy, and this is Paste. Cut removes a section of text from the document and holds it in a special section of the computer's memory called the clipboard. Copy is similar, except that it makes a copy of a section of text without removing it and stores it on the clipboard. Paste takes the stored information from the clipboard and places it in a document. To use Cut or Copy, you first have to identify a section of text. You do this by clicking and dragging the mouse down through the section you want. When you let go of the mouse button, the section remains highlighted. Now, let's click on the Cut button here. The section is removed from the document, but a copy is created on the invisible clipboard. Click the mouse where you want to place the text, and click on the Paste button. Copy works the same way, except it doesn't remove the original text. Quick tip: once you place something on the clipboard, it stays there until you replace it with something else. It even stays there if you exit the program and start another one, because the clipboard is part of the Windows operating system. As long as Windows is running, the last thing that you cut or copied is still available to be pasted somewhere. To review using Cut, Copy, and Paste, first click and drag the mouse to highlight the text you want. Click on the Cut button or the Copy button. Place the cursor, then click on the Paste button. Documents that you create in WordPad or any computer program are kept only in the computer's memory until you actually save them on a disk. This is a problem because the computer's memory depends on electrical power to keep it working. If you've been typing for 2 hours and the power goes off, be prepared to spend another 2 hours retyping everything, unless you've saved it to a disk. You should get in the habit of saving a document at regular intervals, say every 10 minutes or after every paragraph. To save a document, you can choose Save from the File menu, or just click the Save button here in the toolbar. If it's the first time you've saved the document, you'll get this Save As dialog box. Type in a name for your document. Then click Save. Notice how that name now appears here in the title bar. After that, each time you click the Save button, the document will be quickly saved to the disk. Quick tip: naming your documents. In Windows 95, you're not limited to 8-character document names. Now it's possible to have a name up to 256 characters long. To print the document, click the Print button. To create a new document, click New. To open an existing document from the disk, click Open. When you choose Open, you'll get this dialog box where you can locate the document you want by clicking here to choose the disk drive and double-clicking the folder where the document is. Click on the document name to place it here in the file name box, then click Open. Quick tip: keyboard equivalents. Notice that many of these menu commands also have a keyboard equivalent, a key combination that you can use instead of choosing the command from the menu. Sometimes this is the quickest way to perform the command, especially if you're a fast typist, because you don't have to take your hand off the keyboard to use the mouse. For example, in almost all Windows programs, you can hold down the Control key and press X to cut, C to copy, or V to paste. Control Z will undo the last thing you did. Control S will save your document. Control P will print it, and Control O will allow you to open one. To exit WordPad, click File and Exit. If there's a document open that you haven't saved, the computer will ask you if you want to save it. Click Yes to save, then Exit. Or click No to exit without saving. Or you may click Cancel to cancel the exit command and continue to work in WordPad. Paint is an accessory program that you can use to draw pictures. Click on the Paint icon here in the Accessories sub-menu. This blank area is where you draw your pictures. Just choose the tool you need from the toolbox here on the left. For example, if you want to draw freehand, click on the pencil. Click and drag in the open area here to draw something with the pencil. Release the mouse button to stop drawing. You can draw a straight line by choosing the Straight Line tool. Click and drag to draw the line. Then release the button. To airbrush, click on this button that looks like a spray can. Then click and drag. Notice how it works like an airbrush or spray paint can. Choose a different color from the color box here at the bottom by clicking with the left mouse button on one of the colors. That color then appears here in the front square. This is known as the foreground color, and most of the drawing tools will draw in that color. The color that's behind is known as the background color. You choose it by clicking on a color with the right mouse button. To draw a shape, click on one of the shape tools down here. Let's choose the rectangle. Click here, then click and drag. Notice how the shape is drawn in the foreground color. You can draw a shape that's filled with a color by clicking here first. The shape is filled with the background color, but the edge or border of the shape is still in the foreground color. Again, you choose the background color by clicking on a color with the right mouse button. Now, when you draw the same shape again, it's filled with this new background color. If you click here, you can draw the filled shape without the border. Now let's draw an oval shape. Click on the Ellipse tool. Then move the pointer onto the drawing area and click and drag. Quick tip: you can draw a perfect square with the Rectangle tool or a perfect circle with the Ellipse tool by holding down the Shift key as you draw the shape. To place text in your drawing, click on the letter A, which is the Text tool. Then click in your drawing and type your text. Click here to turn on the Text toolbar, which allows you to change the font or size of the text. Use the eraser to erase parts of your drawing. Click and drag in the drawing area to erase. Actually, the eraser replaces the erased area with the background color. Remember, the background color is the color in this box. So if the background of your picture is white, you need to select white as the background color in order to erase. Use the Select tool to select a rectangular area of the drawing to be moved or copied. Click here, then click and drag to select the area you want. Release the mouse button. Then place the mouse pointer here. Click and drag now to move this part of the drawing. Notice that it moves everything within the selected rectangle, including the background. The Select tool is like the eraser. When you remove part of an object, it's replaced with the current background color. If the background of your picture is white, you'll probably want to set the background color to white before you select the object you want to move. As long as this rectangle is visible, you can click and drag to move the object. When you've got it where you want it, click anywhere outside the rectangle to place the object. The Freeform Select tool is similar, but it selects just the drawing and not the background. To use it, click here, then click and drag to draw around the object you want to select. With this tool, you don't have to draw all the way around an object. When you release the mouse button, the loop is completed automatically back to the point where you started. Then just click and drag to move the object. Let's place it on top of this object. Notice that the object moved, but the white background didn't. You can also use the Select tools as a quick way to erase a large area. Just draw the selection rectangle around the part you want to erase. Then press the Delete key on the keyboard. Again, if you use this tool to delete, you need to make sure the background color is set to the color of your drawing background. In Paint, as in WordPad, you can always undo the last thing you did by clicking on Edit and choosing Undo. Choosing Undo now, for instance, brings back the object we just deleted. You can use many of the same menu and keyboard commands in Paint that we showed you in WordPad. Cut, copy, paste, open, save, etc. Quick tip. One of the nice things about programs that are written for Windows is that once you learn how to perform the basic commands in one program, you'll already know how to do them in most other Windows programs because they're standardized. What's more, you'll also know how to do many of these same commands on a Macintosh computer because so many of the Windows features are like those on the Macintosh. Let's use the Copy command to place this picture into a WordPad document. Click on the Freeform Select tool and draw around the picture. Then choose Copy from the Edit menu. This copies the picture to the clipboard. Now open your WordPad document. Let's choose this one from the Documents menu. Then place the cursor where you want the picture to be and choose Paste. So to review, click on a drawing tool, then click and drag to use it. Select the foreground color by clicking with the left mouse button. Select the background color by clicking with the right mouse button. To undo, click on the Edit menu and click Undo. Running a DOS program. Click Start. Highlight Programs. Then click MS-DOS Prompt here at the bottom. You'll get this DOS screen running in a window. From here you can use the familiar DOS commands. We won't take time to cover those here. You can learn more about DOS by watching our intermediate and advanced DOS tapes. When you run a DOS program, you'll see this toolbar at the top of the screen. If there is no toolbar, just click once on the little icon in the upper left corner. Then click on the word Toolbar in the menu, and the toolbar will appear. A few of the options on the toolbar include changing the screen font, marking, copying, and pasting text, switching the document to full screen, and accessing properties. Changing the screen font. This option affects only the text on screen. It doesn't affect your printed copy. To make the change, click on the down arrow to the right of the font box. Then just click on the size you want. This changes the size of the text and the size of the window. Mark, copy, and paste. The next three icons are used to mark, copy, and paste text. With this feature, you can copy a block of text, a picture, or any other part of your document, and paste it into a Windows document, or even into another DOS document. Let's try it. First, click on the Mark button. This inserts a special cursor into the window, which you can move anywhere you want using the arrow keys. Place this cursor at the beginning of the text you want to select. Hold the Shift key down, then use the arrow keys to highlight the area you want to copy, and release the Shift key. Then just click on the Copy button. Now it's been copied to the clipboard and is available for you to paste into the other document. So to paste it, just switch to your other document. When the other document opens on screen, click the mouse pointer where you want the copy to appear. Then click on the Paste button, and there it is. To paste something from another document into your DOS document, you go to the other document, highlight the text, choose Cut or Copy, then switch back, position your cursor, and click Paste. Switching to full screen mode. To switch to full screen mode, just click on the full screen button, and the window you're working in will fill the entire screen and will look just as it does on an old DOS system. The taskbar and toolbar will both disappear, and there won't be any sign that you're running in Windows. To switch back to the window, just hold down Alt and press the Enter key. You can use Alt and Enter to switch back and forth between full screen and a window. To review DOS programs, click on Start, highlight Programs, and click on MS-DOS Prompt. To change the screen font, click on this arrow and select the size you want. To copy and paste, first click on the Mark button. Then highlight the text you want by pressing the Shift key and using the arrow keys. Click on Copy, then switch to your new document, and click on the Paste button. Adding a program to the Start menu. If you're upgrading from an older version of Windows and you had icons for programs in your Program Manager, then those programs will automatically appear on your Start menu in Windows 95. If you have programs that do not appear on the Start menu, you can easily add them. All you do is find the icon for your program by looking in My Computer or using Find. Then just click and drag the icon onto the Start button, like this. And once you do, from then on, that item will appear each time you open the Start menu, and you can open the program or document just by clicking on it. To add a program to the Start menu, find the icon for the program and click and drag it to the Start button. The Recycle bin. One of the icons on screen when Windows 95 opens is the Recycle bin. It looks like a wastebasket. The Recycle bin is a place where deleted documents or programs are stored. It gives you a second chance to recover something you've deleted by mistake. An item is put into the Recycle bin in one of two ways, either by using the Delete command or by clicking and dragging the item directly to the bin. You can tell when something is in the Recycle bin because the wastebasket looks like it has something in it. To see what's in it, double-click on the icon. The Recycle bin window opens, showing the files that have been deleted. To empty the entire Recycle bin and get rid of the files for good, click on File, then click Empty Recycle bin. You'll get this dialog box asking if you're sure you want to delete these items. Click Yes. To bring an item back from the Recycle bin, click on the item once to highlight it. Then click File and Restore. So to review, to open the Recycle bin, double-click on the icon. To empty the entire Recycle bin, click on the File menu and click on Empty Recycle bin. To bring an item back from the Recycle bin, click on the item, Then click on the File menu and click Restore. Selecting multiple files. You can perform most actions like deleting and restoring on more than one file at a time by highlighting more than one icon. Hold down the Control key, then click each file you want to highlight. Then whatever action you choose from the menus will affect all of the highlighted files. You can even click and drag all of the files together. You can also highlight a group of files by clicking on one, holding down Shift, then clicking on another file. This will highlight all of the files in between the two. Or you can click in the blank area out here, then drag the mouse to draw a dotted line around all the files you want. Then release the mouse button. This highlights all of the files. To highlight more than one file at a time, press the Control key and click on additional icons. To highlight groups of files, click one file, press the Shift key, and click on another file. Printers. To work with printers, click Start, then Settings, and choose Printers. If you don't see the name of your printer in this box, double-click on Add Printer, and the Add Printer wizard will open. To begin installing your new printer, click on the Next button here. In the dialog box that opens, you'll see two lists, both with scroll bars. On the left is a list of printer manufacturers, and on the right are the names of the printers themselves. Notice how the list on the right changes as we click on different manufacturers. So, to install a new printer, first click on the brand you want on the left. Then click on the name of the printer model on the right. Most likely you'll find your printer listed here. If you can't find the name of the printer you're trying to install, check the printer manual to see if it lists compatible printers. Then choose one of the compatible printers from this list. Now click on Next to see the port you want. A port is just the place where a printer or modem or some other piece of equipment connects to your computer. The printer port is the default setting here, so it will probably be highlighted. After you've selected the port, click on Next. Then, if you want to use this as your default printer, click on Yes. If not, click No. Then click Next again. And finally, the wizard will ask you if you want to print a test page. Click Yes if you do, and then click Finish. So to review adding printers, click on the Start menu and highlight Settings. Click on Printers and double-click on Add Printer. Click on the Next button after each choice in the Add Printer wizard. Control Panel. The items displayed in the Control Panel window are used to set up the hardware and software systems on your computer. You can get to the Control Panel by several different routes. For example, you can open the Start menu, then highlight Settings and click on Control Panel. Or you can double-click on My Computer, then double-click on Control Panel. One thing you can do in the Control Panel is change the appearance of the Windows 95 screen. Double-click on the Display icon. And this Display Properties dialog box opens. This box has 4 tabs at the top: Background, Screensaver, Appearance, and Settings. Background gives you the choice of different geometric patterns to display on the desktop. Or you can choose Wallpaper, which allows you to place a picture of some kind on the desktop. The image you've seen on the desktop so far in this video is one that comes with Windows 95, called Setup. It's here in the list of wallpaper. You can make your own wallpaper using the Paint program. The next tab is the Screensaver, where you can choose from various animated displays that help protect your monitor from image burn-in. In Appearance, you can try out different color schemes for your Windows screen. This is the standard Windows color scheme. Let's try the color scheme called Desert. And click Apply to actually change the screen. Finally, we have the Settings tab, where you can choose the size of your desktop area, depending on what type of monitor you have. We'll talk more about the Control Panel in the Advanced Windows 95 video. Getting help. To get help in Windows 95, click on Start. Then click on Help using the left mouse button. This box opens. Let's say you need help learning how to use a modem. To use Index, simply click on its tab. Then type in the first few letters of the word you're looking for. Immediately, a list of modem-related entries appears here in the list box. Just click on the item you want. Then click on Display. Then you just follow the instructions. In Windows 95, the Help menu doesn't just tell you how to do something, it actually takes you to the right place to do it. Another tab in the Help box is Contents. Clicking on the Contents tab offers several choices: Introducing Windows, How To, Tips and Tricks, and Troubleshooting. Click on the one you want, then click on Open. Quick tip: the What's This button. Whenever a dialog box is open on the screen, you'll see this button in the upper right-hand corner with a question mark on it. Here's how you use it. Click on the button once, and it attaches a question mark to the mouse pointer. If you have a question about any item in the dialog box, just move the pointer to that item and click on it, and a box with an explanation will open on screen. Then, just click the mouse to get rid of the box. To review Getting Help, click on the Start button and click on Help. Make sure the Index tab is selected, and type in the feature you're looking for. Select the item you want from the list, and click on Display. Shutting down Windows. To shut down Windows 95, click on Start to open the Start menu. Highlight Shut Down, then click once on it, and you'll see this dialog box with the message, "Are you sure you want to shut down the computer?" If you do, just click Yes. If you've changed your mind, click No. Go ahead and click Yes to shut down. The video you just watched contains intermediate Windows 95 features. Beginning and advanced videos are also available for Windows 95. In addition, we offer beginning, intermediate, and advanced tapes on the following software programs: Windows 3.1, Microsoft Word, Excel, DOS, WordPerfect, and Lotus. For more information on how to order, see the flyer that came in your box, or call this number, 1-800-828-8700. Order now, 1-800-828-8700.